NIBIRU Doom, Why This Image Proves Planet X is Coming, says Specialist. It's by John Austin on Express UK. Now I have to admit, I don't have time to really be looking at the skies. The only time I really see the sky is when I'm driving. And then I only basically see what's around me, in front of me and maybe the sides. I don't look up. Now there are people that do pay attention. They take a few minutes a day to look through live webcams, which are positioned various places in the world: South Pole, North Pole, Alaska, even Mexico. Even have them 24/7 giving us live stream from volcanoes, and they do spend some time watching, analyzing what's there, especially sunrise and sunset. Now, what I saw a couple of days ago around our little church of St. Sozon here in northern Athens, I'm just talking, just chilling out here. It was around, I would say, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. It was Sunday right after our church service. The Holy Liturgy was finished. And it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock, as I said. So the sun was almost noon. And I looked up in passing as I was getting something from my car. And I looked up and I noticed that the sky was very dark blue. And you had some white clouds, a few white clouds, and it was a sunny day. But I was so busy, I just couldn't stand there pondering and staring at the color of the sky. But I remember saying to myself, why is it such a dark blue? It was almost like a deep deep sky blue towards a navy blue. And I said, that's very strange. You don't see the sky over the Mediterranean, or in Greece anyway, having that type of a deep sky blue. I had never seen that before. Anyway, I'm just telling you that in passing. I don't know what that means, but that's what I had noticed, just for the record. Now, this article, what specialists have found, again, this is an exclusive. This was last year's article, but nevertheless, it's still current for our time. Striking image, proof that a mythical planetary system, which could spell doom for Earth, is on its way towards us, according to a specialist, Planet X researcher. It may just look like a picturesque sunset, but there is something far more sinister involved. This is according to Matt Rogers, a British-based Planet X believer who runs a YouTube channel that makes videos based on evidence, quote-unquote, of the legendary planet he has been sent into by his subscribers. Now, the Nibiru, or Planet X, or Planet 9, or Wormwood, or Nemesis, or Goblin, or whatever they want to call it, is that a mini solar system consists of its own system. A sun, planets, moons, even comets, is lurking at the edge of our solar system with a huge orbit of the sun. And if you see the video before this one, a scientist says, yes, they have found evidence that such a solar system has passed, and it would probably be Earth's binary twin. So this is what Nibiru believers are convinced that this rogue system is making its way from the outer solar system inwards, where it will wreak havoc on Earth as it passes at about 4 million miles away, causing the poles to switch and great earthquakes and volcano eruptions. Earth changes, tremendous. As you see a couple of videos back, the one having to do with the disclosure, having to do with the CIA disclosure of documents of the Adam and Eve book by a person who had that 65 pages book. I'm going to read it for you today on a PDF. I think it's important for us to know what it says, because it was banned. It was in the 1960s. It was banned for its content. Why would they ban it if they didn't think it was real? That's one huge question that has to be answered. Because of the Freedom of Information Act, it has been cleaned up, quote unquote, and given to the public to read, whatever that means. And it talks about an inbound planetary system that comes in every so often, giving huge catastrophes, one of them being the Great Flood in the past. Also, it talks about previous passages, just like the ancient Egyptian high priest had told Solon, the Greek lawmaker, who told Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, having to do with a system that comes by every so often, wreaking havoc on Earth, even shifting the poles in a couple of days. And the sun, the ancient Egyptian high priest said the sun was, instead of rising in the east, it would rise to the west and set in the east. And the poles were shifted, and also the stars in the sky had a different orientation. All this reported by the ancient Egyptian high priest to Solon, who told Plato, and Plato put it in writing for us to benefit from it. And that's one of the reasons that Atlantis sunk and resurfaced, and then finally sunk and remained sunk. The same happened to the island of Rhodes in the Aegean Sea, but it stayed up. It didn't remain sunk as it was bopping up and down through these tremendous tectonic plate playing around with this during this time of huge upheaval and catastrophe. So Rhodes stayed up. Atlantis went down. This is something every Greek knows, because we've been taught this, we read this, and you know, it's fact in our mind, it's part of our DNA. Let's put it that way. But okay, all these Earth changes. So Mr. Rogers showed a new image in a video on his channel, Sky Watcher Matt Rogers, and it's entitled "Undeniable Image Heading in Each Day." And he said that it has been sent in for analysis by an Australian news reporter who snapped it in apparent amazement. Mr. Rogers has a theory that a pink haze being seen more and more in our skies are reflections coming through from the NIBIRU system, he says. Well, I don't know. There is a pink haze, obviously, when you have a beautiful sunset and you have clouds. You have it, the colors of the sun, which are weaker as it sets, give this pink haze to the clouds in the sky. I mean, it depends on what time of day they have taken this picture. I'm just playing the devil's advocate here, because I have not seen the video of this. I just have the report of this, as you and I are just learning of this. If anybody knows more concerning these videos and the time of day, for example, if it's during the midday and you have pink clouds, that's a problem. That's a problem. But if it's sunrise or sunset, that's normal. So he says more people are sending in photos showing these changes. People are starting to become very concerned to see these clouds. We see this strange pink haze, and if you look left, you see this orange color here and this yellow reflection. What we should see, like we did in the past earlier years, is just a golden sunrise and none of this. No pink color, it's too strong now. Okay, that's the report of that coloring. He says when you see this chemical formation in the sky as well, which we never saw in the past, it's new, it's just a situation again, isn't it? Matt Rogers states. He says now, again it is. A lot of people do speak out of beliefs of what this pink color is. Now the chemical formations in our atmosphere cause this pink color. Now there are also different pink colors that are being placed out there in our atmosphere. When you see this chemical formation in the sky as well, which we never saw in the past, it's new. It's just a situation again, isn't it? Okay. And all right, we don't know. It could also be the aerosol spraying in our atmosphere. Could it be that these particulates that they put in our sky, which is full of dust, of these chemical particulates, make the sun light look pinkish. Well, the sun does look pinkish. For example, you see that when you have a forest fire and you have ash hanging in the air, in the atmosphere, the sunlight looks pink because it blocks out most of the sun's rays and it gives it a pink hue. So it could be the aerosol spraying, or the chem spraying, of course. Again, I'm just trying to find an explanation. He says now, is it to fool the public? Because I have seen that haze, that different colors that beams through from the sundown and sunrise, like you saw before on the photograph. I've seen that before without any chemicals being sprayed. Okay, he's trying to say that it takes place even when the skies are clear of chemtrails. That's what he's trying to impress here on us, I guess. He says there's a lot going on and we have got to make people aware of this. Mr. Rogers also believes the sun is now much whiter than it used to be because it is a simulation designed to block out the view of an approaching NIBIRU. He is a conspiracy theorist who claims world leaders are trying to cover up the fact it is coming by spraying chemicals into the sky to blur out our views, the view of the situation above us in the skies. However, despite most of Mr. Rogers' thousands of subscribers believing he is revealing evidence of Planet X system, he appears to just broadcast pictures of colorful sunsets and bright sunlight and other natural phenomena to back up his claims. Express sent the video to Scott Brando, who forensically examines alleged paranormal pictures and videos. He presents his findings on the website UFOofinterest.org. He's convinced that the images are of typical weather and light phenomena. Mr. Brando said, watching his video, I see known atmospheric optical effects like sun dogs, iridescent clouds, lens flares, and contrails at sunsets. I do not see any anomaly, he said. Despite the debunking, Mr. Rogers has a legion of followers who believe we are doomed. Brenda Bryant posted a response to the video saying, reflections are getting stronger. Great video. Thanks, Matt, and all the people that have sent the pictures in and videos. Take care. God bless. Another poster called Johnny said, I see the pink sky almost every day, but in random places, not by the sun. Another called Crazy Penguin added, amazing images. Thanks, Matt. Great work. We'll send pictures to you. Be safe. And the Nibiru myth emerged, as we know, in 1976, when writer Zecharia Sitchin claimed that two ancient Middle Eastern cultures, the Babylonians and Sumerians, told of a giant planet, Nibiru, that orbited the sun. NASA scientist Dr. David Morrison said, there is no credible evidence whatsoever for the existence of Nibiru. There are no pictures, no tracking, no astronomical observations. I can quite specifically say how we know Planet X or Nibiru does not exist and does not threaten the Earth. Firstly, if there was a planet headed into the inner solar system, notice here he says inner solar system. He doesn't say outer solar system. He said inner solar system. Who asked him about the inner solar system? We're talking about the whole, even outer solar system. He does not refer to the outer solar system. He says, firstly, if there was a planet headed into the inner solar system that was going to come close to the Earth, it would already be inside the orbit of Mars. It would be bright. It would be easily visible to the naked eye. If it was up there, it would be easy to see it. All of us could see it, end quote. Space boffin Dr. Brian Cox has also insisted Planet X does not exist. Associate Professor John T. Horner, an astronomer at the University of Southern Queensland in Australia, said, I've never heard of anybody who's an actual astronomer talk about Nibiru before. It's basically an urban myth. It's like having a biologist coming out and talking about werewolves and the Sasquatch being real, you just wouldn't hear it. Express put it to Mr. Rogers that the image was likely just a sunset and asked if he knew when Nibiru was likely to pass us. He replied saying that he would sue if we wrote anything about his website, he said here. However, he later responded saying he did not know the time or day when Nibiru would pass. He said, but the weather patterns are changing and there are many people that send in photos seeing these differences now. He says, I will be doing a lot of sky watching soon with a new telescope and camcorder, as I have been watching the skies for years and have many stories of what I have seen. Quote, he accepted the image could be just a sunset. And he added, but it could be something else. As observing the heavens, we see a difference. I have been a photographer for years and see changes, but it's important to have an open mind on things, end quote.